Right, nice afternoon out at Dawlish Warren Golf Club. We're going to talk a little bit about when you should go for it and when you should lay up. Lots of talk about strokes gained at the minute, which is brilliant, but then there are still a few getting lost in like if you should just bang driver everywhere. So when should you hold back or not? Let me give you some of my ideas of when I would attack and not, subject around the knowledge of knowing the closer I get to that hole, the better chance I've got of scoring low. But there's going to be contradictions to that point always. Let's show you what I mean. So second hole here at Dawlish, which I play as my first. I can bang a driver over here and get very close to the green, or I can hit it about 220 anywhere left of that tree and it will be short of that gorse. I'll hit both, show you the advantage or not it gives me, and then talk about which one I would choose subject to if I was playing in a comp or not. So basically this hole measures a 363, so I can get close to this green. So 23-degree hybrid is the layup to kick me off. See what that leaves me in. So I've hit it good to slightly left. I could never hit that length club or that direction with anything but that club. Next shot with the driver, this is really risky. I could definitely lose this ball. I'll take a very different line. I've hit that good, but it's slightly left. But it's bouncing. Let's go and show you those. Right, shot one, the layup. I've hit it left, so I'm left of the fairway. So you can see here I've crossed the path and I've not reached the gorse, and I'm a good 10-15 yards from the gorse. And this really is kind of as far left as I would hit this club. I've now got 155 into the hole, so I will hit a second shot. But my tee shot on this occasion is gaining, if I mark it as the fairway, because it's a good lie, it's as good as the fairway, gaining 0.1 off the tee. It's asking me to hit a decent approach. Now my second shot, we'll go and show you that in a second, but it's 72 yards in from the rough. It is a bigger risk, but that one, according to Brody's app, is gaining 0.19 and is only 72 yards in, and I'll show you how close it is to the rubbish and the issues that will cause or not. Decent approach with the 7-iron. Got a bit of a lucky bounce, but I'll take it, and I'm definitely putting for the birdie. Let's show you this driver then. So as we walk up, you're going to notice that the driver is within a yard of the gorse, and I knew I caught it slightly on the left. There's still plenty of room on the right, but it's not the most wide shot in the world. But it's 72 yards in, and that's Dawlish, doesn't really have loads of rough, and even if I was in the thick rough, I prefer it probably to this kind of linksy tight lie. Obviously I could go, these are extremes, I could go in between these. I would hit driver here more now knowing this than I ever would have playing it as an amateur, because I think the rewards are just so big. So really the big question is, can you hit your 200, 220 yard club into the same space that you hit, well this one, my 270, 280 yard club? That's the question really we're posing, isn't it? Where I do feel I can hit my driver into a similar, not exactly the same, 23 is a tighter dispersion, but it's not far off the same, which is why I will gamble and use it. But then your next question you're going to ask yourself, if you attack, if you defend, how good are your 155 shots in? That's what I had. I'm 7-iron, I'm quite happy I'm going to hit a green with a 7-iron. And on this occasion, the 7-iron has actually got inside the sand wedge, but that was to do with a bit of a fortunate bounce. It kicked back by my bag and kind of kicked in. It would have really, if it got a straight kick, been tangling with that hump. If I can get within 72 yards of the green, I feel there's a realistic chance I'm going to find my ball after I've hit a tee shot. I'm going to take it on. Your questions need to be the same as mine. Can you hit that club into that space compared to the layup? Then in turn, will the next shot, it'll show you rewards off the tee, but will it show you the same rewards going into the green, subject to how good your approach play is? Right, great example of a hole you can choose to lay up on or go for. 7th here at Dawlish, right over the water. The reward, if you go for it, it is a bit into the wind today, but I mean, I'm going to be chipping on. If I just hit like a 250 yard, 200 yard shot, I'm going to be hitting a 90 to 100 yard pitch on. Now, what I'm going to be weighing up is, do I feel I can hit it into the space that's over there? And I do. Now, if you are someone who doesn't feel like you can hit it into the space that's over there with the club you need to hit, then it's about hitting the furthest one you can hit without going in trouble. This has risks, but I feel like I'm going to pull this off more than I'm going to miss it. So there's not going to be many situations where I don't just go for this. I've hit that half decent. It should be fine. Front edges, maybe 20 yards off. And there's always going to be exceptions to the rule. Like, you know, think about it, match play, you're going to react more to the player than you are the gaining of strokes against the course. Even though I would play against the course in match play, but there are those situations where, you know, player goes and dumps it in the crap, 2 up with 2 to go, maybe just halve the hole and win the match. Those are different agendas. It's about your skill set and understanding your skill set with those different clubs, isn't it? Let's just give you a couple more examples back at home. So regardless what you choose is best for you or not, the points that you need to try and understand and then maybe work towards or not, is that if you've got 2 equivalent skill level based players and one is going for these riskier shots and the other one isn't, you're going to find that the person who's going for those shots and giving them short approaches into the green, without, I mean, there will be exceptions, there always is to a rule, but they're going to win more than you're not. So the person laying up just because they think it's safer is not going to be making the gains of the person going. Equal skill set, obviously. And don't think that means that they're going to win every time, because they won't, because they'll get a couple in the trouble because it is a higher risk. But they'll win more than they'll lose. And it's certainly when it comes to getting your handicaps cut, where having one really good low score in the system as it stands at the minute compared to 10 really decent average ones, the one really low one far outweighs that in relationship to coming down to going up because of the way the system works. And as always from the start, with all these great conversations we've started having with strokes gained, which I'm really enjoying, it's not just about bashing driver everywhere. Don't think it is. That's not the point. But understanding that getting closer to the hole can have huge benefits might help you make better decisions when you have got the choice of hitting driver or not. The 2 holes that you saw me play there, I have the choice of hitting driver. There'd be situations where I wouldn't. You throw extra wind in, you throw the fact that I'm not hitting my driver as well in, because that will happen. We don't all hit our clubs the same every time we play. Sometimes I play, I feel like my driver's on a piece of string. Sometimes I play, it's on a very long piece of string. Sometimes I play, it's not on any piece of string. So my changes, my decisions will be organically moving with me, but it's the fact that I understand that I've got a better chance of scoring lower, making more birdies, making more pars if I do just keep trying getting closer. So if I am playing well, if I'm hitting my driver or a certain club in a position that I know I can control it, I would definitely take more on than not. So I think understanding the premise of strokes gained, going for it a driver or not, it is complex. It's not as black and white as just bang driver everywhere. Never really say it is. It's understanding the point that if you have that option, taking it could be a much bigger advantage than you think than just hitting it, you know, into your layup place every time because you're like thinking your way around. It's about using the information that you've got and understand and then applying it at the appropriate times. And with golf, it's organic sport. We're never always going to get it right. Hindsight's always going to win in golf, unfortunately. Best way to understand that, I think we all understand that. Just ask someone how they played today. They won't give you a score. They'll say, "Oh, I hit the ball well, just couldn't quite get it going today." Or they'll say, "God, I struck it so well, I just couldn't putt." Where really, you ask them that question because all you really want to know is how many times they hit the ball. You want to know a score. What's interesting, it's often the last thing, if even, they give you that answer. We're all golfers, and we're all a little bit delusional. The good thing with things like strokes gained, it's just facts, it's just data. If you apply it, unfortunately for many, it's brutally honest. Put your comments down below. Lay up, go for it. Why or why not? Driver's wild, but understand the further down you go, the better chance you got. Doesn't always have to be a driver. Could be a long iron over a 5 iron. In that comment section, as always, see you tomorrow.